All right, so my go-to warm-up or mobility before I start anything has always been the same. Super tight hips, low back, some injuries in the past. I really try to open my hips up the best I can, my glutes, hamstrings, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna go through it with you guys today. I always start with a simple butterfly stretch. As you can see, it's not so simple for me sometimes. Tight from this week's training. This video might be a little bit longer than most, just because I'm going to film myself actually doing my stretches before I go into my movement specific stretches. So those are totally different when I have certain lifts or anything of that kind. So today I have power snatches and cycling, heavy presses, and some front squats. So after doing this normal stretch, I will dive into my movement specific stretching, which is mostly loosening up my traps, shoulders, and front rack. Because if anybody has seen me lift, my front rack is absolutely horrendous. I don't time anything for my stretches. I just kind of settle in each one. So one thing I'm not going to miss from this is working out in a freezing cold garage. I used to think keeping F13 at 60 degrees or 62 degrees was cold. It is not. This really helps my quads and my flexors open up a little bit. They're sore from 500-meter rows yesterday, 9 rounds. Move right into my pigeon pose. I do my best to keep my shins parallel with my hands as possible, sinking back into those hips, long back leg, laces down, trying to sink into that hip a little bit, get that glute down to the ground or as close as you can to it. Again, I don't put a clock on these, I just kind of settle into it until I feel like my hip opens up a little bit. I always kind of challenge myself to at least get my belly button down to my leg. Now as I switch, I'm trying to go into that down dog, really drive my heels down to the ground, stretch those calves and hamstrings. I like to alternate feet, driving each heel to the ground separately before I drive them both down. We have a lot of people that come to the gym a little early, kind of hang out, talk. I find this series of stretches really helps me with any workout, especially if you have tight hips. So while you're hanging out, talking like I am to you guys right now, it wouldn't hurt to be going through these stretches together. Again, trying to keep this shin as parallel in my hands as possible. Long back leg, laces on the ground, driving that glute down, trying to get my belly button to touch my calf. If you take my classes, these are all stretches I make you guys do anyway. So I don't think the stuff that you guys are doing is stuff I don't do on a daily basis. So I do my runner stretch. I really try to drive that front knee out to the side, opening those hips up, long back leg, driving my hips towards my front heel, laces on the ground in the back, keeping that chest up, like pushing that hip open. And after you settle into for a little bit, get that left elbow on the ground, open up. All right, 3 times, usually the back of the number for me. Straighten that front leg. Stretch that hamstring a little bit. Pull that front toe off the ground. And then I switch sides. Long back leg, driving those hips down. Again, front knee out to the side. Laces on the ground in the back. To get warmed up, you drive that forearm into that quad a little bit, pushing that knee out. Then we're gonna put the right elbow down and rotate that left hand up. All right, normally I rotate right up into a straddle stretch. Looks like a face, you guys. Straddle down, keeping those legs, knees locked, pushing your chest down. My goal is always get those elbows to the ground. And walk your hands over to the right hand side, pull that chest down to that right knee, tuck that chin. And over to my left. Back to the middle. Should really be able to sink into this stretch now. I like to move into a sumo squat stance. I'm going to drive those knees out, kind of let my hips settle down into it. For me, it always feels better if I kind of settle into that squat. Don't let it be static. Shift your hips sideways ever so slightly. Help you settle into the bottom of that squat a little more, really driving those knees out. Straighten up. I walk my feet in just a little bit. Back down, keeping those knees out. You're slowly working into more of your standard squat stance. And I've always been somebody who kind of squats more with my toes pointed out. Again, everybody's shaped a little different. I have different mobility issues, so everybody's gonna squat a little different in a normal squat stance. You see my feet go a little out. Just want those knees kind of track over your feet. Don't let them cave in. Settle into that squat. Hands on the ground, stretch those hamstrings. And then back down. Keep the chest up the best you can. If you need to put your hands on your shoulders, behind your head, whatever you're feeling. Use them for balance in the front. And then move into your first couple air squats. And now we're moving instead of just doing static stretching.